Greetings, Starseed children. I'm Akasha Azurite. Welcome to Starseed Evolution Channel. This is going to be episode 12. I wanted to talk about the energies coming in. So we have high Lyran energies that are coming in really big gamma waves. So I wanted to share my experiences as Lyran Starseed. I put a picture up as close as that I can find. So what I'm going to do, I feel like I'm just going to bring in a template the next few days. So I'm going to post my higher self and what one of my higher selves looks like too as well. So this is another one of my higher selves. So I'm going to say multidimensional experience. The closest to the Lyran multidimensional that I do have, and I have a few of them. A few are from other times and spaces too as well. So hopefully you'll be able to follow for a minute. It's a multidimensional experience. One is a female and looks more like tiger. Tiger frequencies, blue in frequency. Very massive, gigantic Lyran beings. Some of them look like feline hybrids. So you can call them the feline races. And I just wanted to be able to activate as a Lyran Starseed. Lyran Syrian, if you want to say, multidimensional experience. So at this point, I can activate anything that I want to. Gamma frequencies are really high, and activating gates and Stargate. So very important experience. I was able to reach a very high state of consciousness, and the Merkaba system was ringing, and I could hear a bunch of, it sounds like charms. Tuning and toning and chimes and charms. I don't know how to explain it, but it's the super quantum computer system vehicle of light, which you guys would know it as the Merkaba vehicle, but we're way past that now. So this is our episode 12. When I say we're way past that, there's 5 phases of the Merkaba when you activate your 12 crystalline silica DNA strands. So hopefully you'll be able to follow and to understand that the gates, there's gates and portals and stargates and planetary systems and universal systems. So going back into the Lyran energies, I had a beautiful experience today. I was able to hit a very high peak, very high state of consciousness, if you want to say. I'm going to say vibrating so high in a beautiful space of a higher state of consciousness, if somewhat, not really. The reason why I say this is because when I activate gates, I can activate full gates and I can see fully. So it was a beautiful experience. How do you guys want me to say it? Translocation. Okay. Translocation. So what happened is I could feel teleportation in the physical body. Feels like you're being pulled, and it will feel like you're being pulled out of your body. And I could feel all of this pulling and then all of this weight on top of me, and I could have the experiences of the charms and the system in my spinal cord pretty much materializing the reality and opening up portals and gates. So tuning and toning. I'm going to say tuning in and tuning into high frequencies, tuning into higher states of consciousness, higher gates, higher frequency bandwidths, higher harmonic universes. Obviously, I was accessing a higher harmonic universe. Yeah, higher harmonic universe 3. Being able to hit these high frequency bandwidths, and I could feel myself. Of course, I know when I'm teleporting because I'll be sitting there giggling and laughing, and usually I'll go lay down because I know I'm teleporting through a gate, and I'm able to have these beautiful experiences. And I have lots of feline experiences right now, different councils coming in, multidimensional me's too as well. So I've always seen this one, but this one came in really clear, and it was my multidimensional, and I usually have them all around me as guardians, and majority of them are me. So there's different frequency tones. I have a female one that looks very much like the picture that you showed me, and they do come in looking really beautiful, very beautiful beings all dressed up. And she's massive and big. So when she jumps in, usually the only time I've ever seen her experience her full embodiment is in my dream state, jumping in and banging dimensions, most likely to clear energies out. So I've had really profound experiences with the female one, and very loud, just put it that way. And it's always in my dream state, but I can see her, I can fully embody this part of her, but it's when she fully comes in. I'm going to say most likely, it was like this full banging dimensions into the dream state because of the consciousness or whatever was coming in through the frequency bandwidth in order to, I'm going to say, seems like almost breaking dimensions, but it was beings that are around that are not the highest, and that's the reason most of my experience with her. Um, yeah, pretty much bouncing and moving energies really fast and able to clear everything in a light speed. So that was a really beautiful experience. Majority of them, I always talk about my experiences with the felines, but the multidimensionals are in your morphogenetic field. So it's all in how you introduce with them, I guess you could say. These are all me's and multidimensional me's. And I'm going to say the Lyra Command, different feline hybrid systems, and you could say hybrid systems. So when I say systems, they know I'm talking about their Merkabas. So hopefully you would be able to follow. They don't really have Merkabas. It's more of like a full body system. So I do know that too as well. When I say systems, is the reason why I know they're getting close to me, and I know it's them, and I know I'm teleporting through gates. So they're pretty much just teleporting me up, so I can just see them more. And I know it's their etheric translocations, bilocations. I can actually hear their systems coming in, and it's a really high frequency, very high frequency of their full body systems. So I pretty much know, and I'll be giggling and laughing with them, and cracking up and telepathically communicating and rolling all around because I pretty much know. I'm like, oh, it's like, these are your systems. You guys are etherically biolocating to me right now. And I'll be giggling and laughing. I'll be like, I guess we're quantum jumping somewhere, huh? And they will pick me up and move me. So what we're doing right now is we're looking for a beautiful place and a property to have our Lyra Command. Yeah. Our Galactic High Council Lyra Command Station. So we're here in New Mexico, and it will be one for a little bit, we think, on the timelines, but we don't really know because we also see other timelines too as well, simultaneously running. Um, so right now we're looking around for a big station in New Mexico. So it's quite hilarious, the experience. And I was teleporting and I could feel the full teleportation. And as we're teleporting, I realized that it's their massiveness of their etheric biolocations. And a few of them are me's, multidimensional me's. And I do know this one really well because this one's always multidimensionally very close to me too as well. And then I have another one that's always on my right side too, and that's another feline, and he's more of a white race. So it's lots of masculine energies around me all the time, kind of moving in very close in dimensions right now, closer and closer and closer, and then you'll have felines too as well. But I think my system might be a little bit different than others. So then, kind of like moving in, and I had the most beautiful experience is where I could see him, and he looked just like a wild cat in this beautiful outfits in blue. And they had like blue, it looks like kind of like night outfits, a cross between galactic commanders, and then also night wear, if you want to say. I'm going to say night, some guardian wear. And I was giggling and laughing because his hair was just like, is when they're coming in, you have to understand everything's like all static. So everything looks so staticky. And his hair is like standing on top of his head. I can see all of his beautiful prints. And I can see all of his prints. So when I see myself multidimensionally, I actually do have Egyptian hieroglyphics. I have Egyptian hieroglyphics all over my face. And if I was to move in and you were to see me multidimensional, you would actually see me as a feline race. You would see me as a lioness being. And that's how I knew. I was laughing. I was like, I know what the prints are. And that was really cool because it really made me giggle and laugh. And I could see like the hair just standing up. It was like clear as day over me. And that's what we call, for us, it's translocation. Um, and translocation, and that's pretty close. So etherically, bilocation, etheric would be etheric. You would be able to see transparent through it. This is different. This is solid. So it's like me over kind of going like that over you and being solid matter. So that's how I know it's translocation. Yeah, I always ask questions, but anyways, we'll move on from that because I always will sit there and ask. I'm like, you guys are pretty close. So what's going on? And kind of it was so close where I could just sit there and touch, right? So through etheric translocation, it's etheric translocation, and then there's translocation would be physical matter, and actually being able to see them is vivid, coming in closely, and there was a few of them actually over top. And it would be over top because you could say it's the higher realms or however you want to perceive it. But it was a beautiful, profound experience that I had, and I was able to see all of the structures and the prints, and I'll just be sitting there playing with them and singing little songs to them, and just it's like a light speed telepathic communication back and forth. And then the most beautiful experience was I was actually able to see a female for the first time, so that was cool. In all blue, blue garments, very clear, brown, very brown, long hair. I know it was a feline, it wasn't a multidimensional me. So it was the first time I actually got to see a female. Most of the time it's all masculines that I was able to see. So it was just so wild. What a wild experience, I'm going to say. And I actually could see her just moving in, and their dressings are really beautiful, beautiful long dressings, and then they all wear blue cloaks. So it was, you can call it cloaks, but I guess you would call it like an elder outfit. And it was just really beautiful blue frequency, and it was just so clear and so clear as day. Um, yeah, I do know which multidimensionals are of me because I have been clearing for them through all time and spaces, and other galactic wars too as well. Also came in here too as well to pretty much rescue a bunch of them on a rescue mission. So some of them probably have vessels here somewhere on the planet, at least a few of them over top of me. So I would have to say it would be the councils. So there's most likely a few of them, yeah, because I came in actually to rescue a few out of the time matrix and out of the phantom matrix too as well. So I thought that was a beautiful experience, and then I've cleared a lot of distortions, and I believe this one is the one that I cleared distortions for in another time and space too as well. Yeah, this one was involved in heavy wars. Was more of like a humanoid. So that one definitely rehabilitated that one really fast. And you can do this. Eventually you would realize you can. And I literally just stayed in his field until he was able to revive himself. And I had to sit there and heal him and keep healing him and healing him. And it took a long time. I'll just lay very close next to him. And it's a very clear telepathic is just vibration and energy, and I was able to heal him with my rainbow frequencies. It's obviously my frequencies, the crystal frequencies that I have, and I was able to revive him in a sense from a lot of trauma, and just pretty much just sat in his field for a long time, made sure that I went through time and space in my Merkaba and made sure that I really paid attention to this one because it actually will come into the physical body and also into your timelines too as well, your existence, your lifetime here. So I make it a point to make sure that I am able to heal all of them. So that was my day, and I work on them as I can. Then I go to all me's and multidimensional me's when I have to, when I'm able to see it, because that's what we're able to do. We can actually walk through time and space. I can do it all day long. It's natural. I don't have to go into meditative states. We've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years. It's actually very natural to us. We know we can walk through time and space. We know that we can pretty much master anything that we have to master, and we master it, and that's it. And it's really like at a light speed. Everything traveling through time, pretty much seeing that clearly, being able to see very clear, to the point where we could just go, oh, we can touch you. Hello. Hi, how are you doing? How are you doing here today? Um, so that's really clear too as well. And very, very clear too. That that's probably a reason why a lot of my Lyrans are really close. Very close to me right now. It's probably because they're going hi, hello. And they're actually really funny like that. Yeah. They are hilarious. A lot of them are very close and most likely will be staying close. Definitely close, especially what happened about a year ago almost. Yeah, this one. So they're getting closer and closer and closer, and it's actually quite funny because eventually you realize a lot of them are your multidimensionals. And as you realize a lot of them are your multidimensionals, you start to actually embody them more and have some really beautiful experiences. So these ones I was able to see really close, and they wear lots of blue frequencies. This one was just really beautiful with wild hair. So I have to find a good picture of this one. This beautiful, I'm going to call them, I'm going to call them Lyra Councils. And that's the really reason. So the High Council is a Lyra, but Lyra Command. So in a sense, we're trying to find a location here in New Mexico. So it should be fun. Lots of Lyra energies, gamma waves coming in, and the reason why is the frequencies are so high that we're able to reach these high points, and we're able to see translocation, which is pretty much translocation and then biolocation, which that's a little bit different. Biolocation is biolocation through, I'm going to say, quantum light energetics, and a lot of you guys would look at it as number and equations. So you can etherically teleport and biolocate through equations and numbers. So if you actually can master that, you can learn how to actually biolocate, but it would look like all pieces of you are coming together. So if you were to biolocate or to etherically biolocate, but I'm going to say matter biolocate, which is teleportation, it would look like you kind of, multidimensionally working through the vortex through equations, and the person on the other side would only be able to see parts of you materializing. It's actually really cool. I wish my star sister would come more online again. Because this one is really out there. This one is definitely out there. Pretty far out there. Everything that I'm seeing, and it's really cool, really beautiful experiences, but you would be able to see parts of them materializing. It's actually really cool, and it is through equations and numbers sometimes. Some of us are able to do it through quantum light translocation codes, which is light codes, and it's really cool. So it was a beautiful experience to be able to see all of them. And there was actually a lot of them coming in through gate, but they're just, kind of like over top of me. So it's very common for me just to see them kind of floating there. And it's like, guys, a lot of them is their super systems, I call it. All right, so they wanted me to be able to connect. So Lyra energies are coming in really high, very high, and then also lots of really cool experiences for Lyra Starseeds too as well. So I know a lot of people are out there doing beautiful things for the collectives. My experiences are very high. It's beyond encounterment. They're my family, and they're me's, multidimensional me's, laying around me, multidimensional. And it's like pretty much getting really close, if you want to say. It's probably, we're probably getting closer to our station. All right. So the next thing they wanted you guys to learn is really quickly just a real quick video that we wanted to do for our episode today. The importance is that we did a workshop today, and it was with Goddess Isis. It was really beautiful. It was a 7 chakra grid to awaken the lotuses, and this was our day today. So it's always going to be and always will be a full house. And it is because you can say that I have unlocked a lot of keys to a lot of my multidimensionals in my family too as well. So rehabilitations, I have many contracts here to fulfill and almost mastered a lot of them. And then I should be able to take a break in 2023 and maybe do a little bit more travel. But we'll see what's going to happen. And that would just be like personal stuff. So for right now, it always will be a big, massive team. Always coming in, and then everything will unify, and then we get done what we're supposed to get done. So we have a good push. We have the 7/7 portal, which is going to be lots of avian energies. We have a little bit of Orion energies too as well, and that one is going off in Syrian energies, Syrian avians, and then Orion energies is coming in. So it's a really cool little Trinity gate, if you want to say. A lot of you guys are learning how to bring in codes, light codes, quantum light codes. There's a few things we want to go over that we feel like are important. So this would be a light activation. Okay, so quantum light activation, a lot of us bring it in. There's many questions on how do you activate it into your system. Okay, a lot of us bring in gates and codes, and we always have questions. So these are mine, and then some of them are done in sequence, so we're not showing them. I have a few of them that I can show. I don't know if I showed this one. So it's really simple. We bring in gates or whatever is needed, and a lot of these are temple drawings, so lots of crystal temple drawing, and whatever needs to come in. And for the collectives and what we do, it's really simple. Okay, what you want to do is you want to just sit in a meditative state, and you could always print out. You can print out codes, and you can print out light codes. There's beautiful people around the planet that actually bring them in through art. So you can get beautiful artwork too as well. Artwork, light codes, or get it. You can get them done for you too as well. I had a really funny timeline collapse on that one. That was a hilarious timeline collapse that my higher self said, you know what? We love you, but your codes are sacred, extremely sacred. So you know what? How about we transition from that? Because it seems like there's lots of collapses there. So once in a while, I write them and I'll draw them out for some of my beautiful people that come to me. And the higher self is fully embodied by now. That will say, yeah, we can draw for this one. They will have appreciation and gratitude and honor and respect and understand how beautiful and sacred they are. So that took a few years to understand that too as well, and that's about energy and time. So that would be moving out of frequency bandwidths too as well. Those of you that actually do the art listening. So what we do is usually just set up, and I do have some Atlantis poster, but it's not here. And we'll just kind of set up the codes, and you could just place them really simple, or print them out, or you can get it big, and it doesn't really matter. So you just want to place it like this, and we'll probably just breathe in. And you want to be able to just connect to your higher self, okay? To be able to visualize your avatar just anchoring in, and you want to visualize and to charge up your computer system, which is your Merkaba. You want to charge it up with breath, and just do about 4 breaths in, okay? And just charge up. As you sit there and charge up, what you're doing is you're actually merging your consciousness with your higher self, okay? So it's really simple. You want to be able to feel your heart opening. You want to be able to connect, and then telepathically, usually, and this isn't always true because it's a light speed and it's a super quantum computer system, so it already knows what you're doing. Anyways, but just like don't get the ego too much in there. But you want to just kind of like set the intentions. I'm going to activate this into my system, and it's really simple. Okay, so usually how we activate is we take 2 fingers and direct like this, and we usually will just set the intention and kind of tune in, kind of like a picture. So you're taking like a snapshot picture. You're snapshotting in your Merkaba, and that's really what you're doing. So you're taking a holographic picture and activating it in. So what we do is we just kind of focus in, and I would just activate the codes into my system through breath. So set 2 intentions, and this would be the picture taking. And what we do is just you can feel the expansion. So I can feel the heart opening. And I just take 2 and just breathe it in and just activate it in. Some of us will open up like this, and a lot of beautiful light frequency holders and frequency anchors will just activate it in. So just visualize it, and what you're doing is you're breathing it in, you're activating it into your conscious field, and it's really simple. So I usually will take 2 fingers and just activate it in, and it literally will expand everywhere. And you could do that too as well, and that's just through a breath technique. And you can also just activate it into the system. So a lot of people ask me all these really funny questions. How do you activate this? Well, you want to breathe it in and just activate it into your system. So it is like taking a snapshot picture. It's actually hilarious. I have a lot of fun doing it. And when you're traveling, if you're traveling to sacred sites, you can do the same thing. So you just take 2 fingers and just breathe it in, activate all the records. You should be able to see all records. It's actually the records of the sacred site, and you should be able to see the blueprints, the structures, the codes, everything that is there, all of the library systems on the sacred site. And you just sit there, breathe it in, and activate it, and that's it. It's actually really really simple, and you're activating it in your Merkaba, in your conscious field, and then it activates and it goes into your field. Those of you that actually are able to expand enough with the pineal gland and the record system and library systems, as you're sitting here activating it, it's really simple. Eventually, once you activate everything, you should be able to see all the codes. So when you are activating it, when I can activate this system in, I'm just sitting here breathing it in and activating it into my system. Just by breath work, I can actually see everything that comes with it, all the codes, everything, the blueprints, the structures, the equations. I can actually see what it means. And those are what we call templates. So you can activate the templates and activate the keys within your physical body through vibration and frequency, and it's actually really simple. Those of you that like to travel to sacred sites, there are codes there. Eventually you would realize there's library systems, blueprints, and structures. Some of them still have artificial timelines too as well, which you'll have to learn how to break through those, and your higher self knows how to do it. It's actually very simple. You can as you activate it in, and you're activating it in, you should be able to receive all records, all history too as well, and it's organic data. So because it is organic data, you would have to understand that you are going to see past everything that was ever told to you on this planet or anybody on this planet. So it's your system. Your system is a very intelligent, super conscious system. You should be able to access codes, library systems, records, all of it. And then you should be able to see the artificial intelligence and also the holographic inserts of the holograms. And there's false holograms too as well. You can actually remove that, and then boop, 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 boop. It's like a very futuristic. And then boom, you would get the download, and you could sit there and bring in the templates because you would remove everything. And it really is just in front of you. So when we go like this and you see light language channelers or ones that sit here like this, and it's really simple. There's a reason why we go like this, is because there is a holographic crystalline hologram screen in front of us, and we are actually sitting here working on our system. So eventually we can move through timelines, we can look through timelines, we can adjust timelines. Most of the time when we're sitting here like this, we can sit here and look through all time and space. So we can look through multiple windows in time and through all time and space at the same time. You will be able to access this as you sit here and activate your vehicle of light. And it's actually really simple that you have to activate all of your systems. And that's most likely the third system. So third Merkaba phase, diamond systems too as well. So you'll be able to access all of that, and that would be computer system, and then it becomes the super system. And it's actually really fun. So you can activate anything in as like taking a snapshot. So the phones will be gone one day, and all of your electronics will be gone one day, because all you will need is your body again. And that's it again. So then going back to our original blueprint, everyone that wants to follow us, you just want to breathe in and to meditate and activate it in. Those of you that are more feminine, okay, so this is more masculine. This is more Lyra Command and Andromeda Command, learning how to activate, and it would be really funny because there's a lot of light language channelers that I do view on that do a lot of this and a lot of this, and I wonder if they know what they're doing. So that's another thing, is we actually tune in to see, do they know what they're doing in their system? Are they able to see it yet? We actually do care about our family here on the planet, and we actually really do. We actually. So we want to see how far they are, and if they actually are able to see everything and know what they're doing. And I think that's beautiful too as well. So you can always just activate into the system, and then most of the time our beautiful divine feminine goddesses usually will activate like this. And they can just breathe it in and activate the codes in, and they have more of a feminine way of doing it. So it's all up to you. As you can tell, I have more masculines. The next thing is holding a frequency and a frequency bandwidth of a higher timeline, a higher state of consciousness. So because I was able to be able to teleport through a gate system today, and I was able to have that very high dimensional system, and I'm going to say 12 dimensional system experience, because I was able to vibrate that high with the Lyra Councils. Just want you to know that. It's my Indaras that raise the vibrations this high. So I was able to vibrate this high and have this experience. So what I want to do is, when I have an experience like this, I literally will breathe it in to activate this frequency so I can keep materializing these timelines. So I will connect and go and hold it into my heart and hold it into my whole body, the whole physical body. So I can keep having these experiences. I make sure it's a full body experience, and that's why I have to go lay down and rest when I feel like I'm being teleported, when I know I'm about to have a very high dimensional connection with my multidimensional me's, my higher versions of me's. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny. I'm the director though. So that's they're just, it's kind of like playing around. And then also my family of light. So because I'm able to have these profound experiences by breathing in and saying, oh, I have to make this a full bandwidth experience. So I would just breathe in and I actually sit and I make sure that I'm there at least for 15 to 20 minutes and breathing it in and anchoring in that bandwidth too. And it's a bandwidth. So it's a 5th dimensional bandwidth, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. Okay. There's a God realm bandwidth too that I always activate in because I can reach and vibrate that high up. There's a purpose. It's because they want me to. So in order for me to be able to share my experiences, because we are the future and we are the ones from the future. So we are the ones from the 3000s and we are the ones from the 4000s and we are the ones from the 7000s, and they're all here pretty much in my room all the time. So they are pretty much here all the time, sitting and that is pretty much the life. And it's a normal life for a star being, a light being, and a fully online Lyran Syrian, or a fully online Vega Syrian. It doesn't matter. The ones that are fully online. It's common for us to have these beautiful experiences. So you want to be able to breathe it in. Fifth-dimensional experiences too. So we'll go back down just for a minute because that was a 12D experience. Going back into the fifth-dimensional experiences, I hold fifth-dimensional experiences in my fifth-dimensional bandwidth. When I make a heart-to-heart connection with my child, I actually make sure that I sit there and I hold it and I hold my heart. I actually go like this and I breathe it in when I hit those high fifth-dimensional heart-to-heart connections with my child. I hold it in to have a full body experience so we can keep materializing our fifth-dimensional realities. So I actually sit and I breathe it in. I lock it in to my body to make sure that we can keep materializing our fifth-dimensional experiences together. That is a beautiful experience when you are an unconscious parent moving from 3D really fast to 4D really fast and to 5D really fast through a gate and multiple gates. You have to understand that it has been a really very, very high timeline experience and moving as fast as I possibly can in order to move through gates and gates and gates in order to make sure that we are in a 5D frequency bandwidth. So it took about 8 years, and that is the highest importance contracts for me on this planet is my guardianship roles to my children. Okay, so it's important to me. So you have to understand that I have to hold that frequency and that full embodiment frequency to make sure that we materialize into physical form that reality and to materialize it again. It is so important, very important, to make sure that we keep experiencing these heart-to-heart connections and beyond. That is an experience. Now the next thing is when you have fifth-dimensional experiences with others and soul divine sacred unions and heart-to-heart consciousness contracts, the ones that I tune and tone with, that I have been in their field, and I can feel that we reach these high expanded places in consciousness, I actually hold the frequencies in and I hold my heart, or I will sit there and balance myself enough to make sure that we tune and tone in the frequency bandwidths so I can materialize this again with my earth family, soul family here on the planet, which would be the ones that I'm divinely guided to, that are my divine sacred unions, no matter what dimension that they're in or whatever frequency bandwidth that they fluctuate at. We're able to come together and to activate into a very high state of consciousness and to hold that consciousness. And I only hold it for about a few hours, and at this point I always will have to move out because I'm still mastering my own universe and my own realities, the frequency bandwidths within inside of me, and I'm also clearing massive softwares too as well still. So I always can have those experiences, but I do know that my experiences and my highest teachings, the highest ones that I will have to hold fully and embodied, would be with my star family and my multidimensional me's. So you want to be able to hold the frequencies when you have that. So you have a heart-to-heart experience, expanded experience, or you're just sitting there with anyone and you're opening up, you're doing codes and light codes, and you're painting, or if you're with your children and you're having happiness and blissful states of consciousness, and everyone's in that really beautiful heart space and you can feel it, you want to hold it in a full embodiment experience and to actually sit there like a picture in your Merkaba system, your vehicle of light, your quantum computer system, and activate the frequency and fully embody it like a picture. And it is a holographic view. It's a holographic reality. Eventually you would realize that it's a holographic reality. So because it's a holographic view and multidimensional systems too as well, and a multidimensional reality, you want to actually sit there and to learn how to be present in every moment so you can continue. When you materialize that frequency, you want to hold it and keep holding it and keep holding it so you can keep materializing it until it's finished, until everything is reconstructed completely and the whole quantum plasma crystalline field is completed with that frequency bandwidth only, that only reality. And then you will have to stand in your power to make sure nothing ever gets through, ever. Okay, that's a lower frequency, and it's not really lower frequency, but a denser bandwidth. But to be honest with you, when you're able to hold and materialize that reality, you can keep materializing it too as well. And to hold that very high state, and then everything shifts and change, and all dimensions of everything and everyone changes eventually. So you'll be able to see that too, because you would realize that it is your experience, and it is your universal soul's experience too. So you want to be able to materialize it into the quantum fields multiple times. And that's how you can hold a frequency in. So we do this a lot, and it could be any of those experiences, because you have to understand a lot of us have contracts from the 3D and the 4D that are very intense. So to master this and to keep mastering it, if you want any assistance, you want to sit and be present and to hold those frequencies to a full embodiment, especially when you are doing everything yourself and you have a family, or if you have family or whatever it is, you want to master this, and you're mastering it. Everything is mastery at this point. So you have to master these realities, but what you're doing is you're reconstructing and recoding your quantum plasma fields to recode, and then eventually after 6 months or a year, it depends on how fast your family's jumping, everything will be able to materialize that is the highest frequency bandwidth reality. And then that's it. And you would know this is it. Like, you would know this is the full embodiment, that we have created the full embodiment of the fifth dimensional experience. And you would know, you would get music or a song. Your higher self would tell you. You would be able to, it really is like you leaving one reality matrix, walking into another reality matrix, walking into a higher one, and you would realize that you just literally walked into a whole new existence. Everything is different and pure, and purity. Everything is purity. So it's actually really beautiful, and happiness and blissful states of consciousness too as well. Joyfulness and abundance, but to be honest with you, is blissfulness. So it's playing and laughing and having fun too. So I hope this was able to assist anyone. So if you have experiences, they are pretty close right now in dimensions, and making their, if you want, I'm not going to say encounterments, making their presence known for our huge Lion's Gate that we're about to move through very fast. So hello everyone.